Alright everybody, here we are. We have a ton of information about LEGO Star Wars 2020 sets. We have quite a bit of information about some LEGO Star Wars 2019 sets that haven't been released, including a bulk of which are the Rise of Skywalker sets, which are actually coming out within 3 months here. So buckle up, leave a like on the video if you enjoy or learn anything new, which you definitely will during this video. There is a ton to go over. I have what might be the most complete list about LEGO Star Wars late 2019 and early 2020 stuff out there, at least that you guys will hear about. So here we go. We're going to start out with sets that are coming out later this year, starting with our September set, which is going to be the 75245 Advent Calendar with 280 pieces for $40. We've already talked about this, I believe, and we've definitely seen some leaked images of it. I'll leave that up to you guys if you want to look more into the Advent Calendar of all things, but it will come with like a Santa Porg, or at least a Porg with a Santa hat, not so much the other way around, and various other minifigures and accessories. I just don't want to spend too much time on the Advent Calendar because there's so much other juicy stuff. We have the 75246 gun turret with 159 pieces for $20. This is going to be an episode 9 set, and at the $20 price range, it'll probably just include like 2 minifigs and be some type of turret from like some type of maybe First Order Star Destroyer, or like, you know, something pretty straightforward. Our next set is the 75248 Y-Wing Fighter with 269 pieces for $30. Now there was some leaked episode 9 art back before Star Wars Celebration in April, I believe, and in that art, which now seems to be very, very real leaked art, the A-Wings in the background are blue. So I am under the belief that the 75248 A-Wing Fighter is going to be blue, which is an exciting change of pace. Our next set is the 75249 Y-Wing Starfighter with 578 pieces for $70. That's about right for a Y-Wing, I suppose. Last Y-Wing was $60. This just kind of makes sense for the way LEGO always trends, and that is upwards in price. The Y-Wings on the leaked art that I talked about, where the A-Wings were blue, well, the Y-Wings appear to be like kind of orange or red on the front instead of yellow. They are a different color, which is, again, refreshing. It's going to be nice to see something different on the Y-Wings instead of the typical old yellow that we've had since 1999, so definitely going to be getting some new style of Y-Wing here for the new set. Like I've been saying, I do know the piece counts and the prices for most of these, but I don't know anything about the minifigures that are going to be included in these sets. I can't speak to that right now. Of course, we'll have more information soon on the channel as soon as possible, and I'll make a video about it when I can. The 75250 set is going to be Speeder Bike and Landspeeder, or I've kind of seen First Order Speeder thrown around. I'm not sure which variation of this is going to be, whether it's going to be 2 different vehicles or 1 vehicle in 1 set, but regardless, this set, whatever it may be, is going to be 373 pieces with $40. Again, this is also an episode 9 set. Skipping past set 75251 because it's Vader's Castle and it's already been released, we have the 75252 UCS Star Destroyer coming out, and this one is actually supposed to be out in probably mid-September for VIPs. It's going to include 4,782 pieces, and the price on it is a little bit blurry. Usually we would have a pretty concrete price at this point. However, there are rumors floating around pretty strongly suggesting that it will either be $500 or $700. I have not seen anything put it in between. That being said, I did see it listed somewhere for 500 euros, which translates to roughly to $560, which just makes me think it'd be closer to $500 than $700, especially given the 4,782 piece count. But again, time will tell on that. Skipping set 75253 because that's Boost Droid Commander and it's also already been released, we get to 75254, which is going to also be an episode 9 set. It's an ATST, which is rumored to have some type of brown coloring on it. I've heard that it's just going to be kind of the legs, that their legs are kind of rusted out or something like that, or maybe they're muddy, and it's going to include 540 pieces for $50, which I think is pretty fair. Moving on to set 75255, we have UCS YODA with 1,771 pieces for just $100. That is one of the best price per pieces I've seen on a modern LEGO Star Wars set. That being said, this is going to be much in the style of BB-8, the Porg, and UCS R2-D2, so that's going to go really well with those other 3 models, and of course that one is supposed to be coming out sometime around October, might come out September, who knows. That one's just going to probably be like a surprise drop. Moving on, we have the 75256 Kylo Ren's Shuttle with 1,005 pieces for $130. So that's a bit pricey, but this one I expect fully to be the black Kylo Ren shuttle that we deserved back when Episode 7 came out. Obviously, they botched that one. They released it in gray. The wings didn't fold out like they were supposed to. I fully expect this Kylo Ren shuttle to release in black with the correct wing function, and I think it's going to be a really clean looking model. I'm really excited to put this next to Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter from Episode 8. I think those are going to be a great combo. Next up is kind of the set that a lot of people are a little bit pessimistic on because how much LEGO has done it very recently, but it's the 75257 Millennium Falcon with 1,350 pieces for $160. Now, we have seen the Millennium Falcon, I believe, in the Episode 9 trailer, so we can't really expect it to be anything crazy. It's going to look like a Millennium Falcon, so don't get your hopes up that it's going to be like a red and white Millennium Falcon. Although that'd be a pretty dope variation, but no, the Millennium Falcon should look like the Millennium Falcon with probably a round radar dish or something close to round. The rectangle one is definitely gone, though. Skipping over set 75258 because it's the 20th anniversary Podracer. 75259 was the 20th anniversary Snowspeeder. 75260 is a mystery nothing set. There's just nothing tied to it ever. It was never rumored to be anything concrete. It's nothing. It doesn't exist. Set 75261 is the 20th anniversary clone Skywalker, which has been released, and 75262 is the 20th anniversary Stormtrooper Battle Pack, which has been released. And that is the end of set numbers for 2019. That's it. That's all of them. And that brings us to set 75263, which is the Ferry Microfighter, which we originally thought was going to be something tied to Solo, a Star Wars story, but it does appear that it's not. Both the Microfighters for 2020 should be Episode 9. Now, we don't know what the Ferry Microfighter is. However, I would assume it's something opposite of what the Oslo Tram Microfighter is going to be. So the Ferry Microfighter includes 86 pieces. We can assume it's still going to be $10, set 75263. And set 75264, the Oslo Tram Microfighter with 72 pieces, is supposedly something to do with Kylo Ren. I would bet Kylo Ren Shuttle, although 72 pieces doesn't seem like a lot to make a micro scale or a small scale Kylo Ren Shuttle, but I think they could do it. So it would be something to oppose Kylo Ren Shuttle. You guys can comment down below what you think it might be. I would obviously wager it'd be something Resistance. I don't know what else it would be, but there is something that is codenamed a Ferry Microfighter coming out that we don't know what it is. The next set on the list is set 75265. It's going to be a Bantha versus T-16 Skyhopper Microfighter set with 198 pieces, and we can assume this one is going to cost $20. A lot of these that I'm going over now just now have piece counts. We kind of talked about them back in February of this year, which was super early for 2020 leaks, but these are all seeming to be true, seeing as some of these have been revealed in Loose Landspeeder No Moon's Hot, which we're going to get to. Set 75266, the Bruges Battle Pack with 105 pieces, something tied to Episode 9. We have no idea exactly what it's going to be. I'm possibly going to be that red Sith Trooper or something to do with that. That'd be pretty dope, but who knows? It's just a code name. We know nothing really detailed or specific about it. So 75267 is going to be the Huckleberry Battle Pack. Huckleberry Finn, baby. 102 pieces and probably $15 like the Bruges Battle Pack, I would assume, as well. And this one, Huckleberry, is actually the project name for the Mandalorian, and we have had a leaked Mandalorian torso. It's possible that set 75260 I mentioned earlier that has nothing tied to it could be a surprise Mandalorian set. Apparently there might be like 2 surprise LEGO Star Wars sets this year. Just there could be more than what I'm saying here. Is just my point. Like last year, Darth Vader's castle was just kind of out of nowhere, came out on Black Friday. There could be more like that for Star Wars coming out. Anyway, that's besides the point for right now. We're just talking about rumors that we know about, and the Huckleberry Battle Pack is going to be something to do with the Mandalorian. We don't know if it's going to include Mandalorians or the opposite of Mandalorians, whoever they're fighting, but it will have something to do with that show. Set 75268 is going to be a junior Snowspeeder with 91 pieces, and in the juniors range, I'd expect that to be $15 to $20, no problem. So 75269 is now more or less confirmed to be Obi-Wan versus Anakin from Episode 3 with 208 pieces. There were some rumors floating around, starting to float around, that it might actually be the A New Hope version of Obi-Wan versus Anakin, which would have been weird because you'd assume that'd be Darth Vader versus Anakin. But I'm really excited to see that set. 208 pieces pieces, and I'm going to assume $20 on that one. I would assume very similar to what we saw with Rey versus Kylo Ren this year, and I'm totally down for a yearly release of a $20 lightsaber battle. I think that's awesome. Set 75270 is Obi-Wan's hut with 200 pieces. We've already seen pictures of that. I've already talked about that on another video, so if you're interested, I'll link that down below. Set 75271 is also a set we've seen, Luke's Landspeeder with 236 pieces. Both of those sets are confirmed to be $30 US, and if we're going with the current trend of things, we would assume the sets below them in set numbers would be lower in price, so the Anakin vs. Obi-Wan lining up at $20 just kind of makes sense. But yeah, we've seen Luke's Landspeeder, seen Obi-Wan's hut, and everything else on the rumor list I've talked about back in February, so I think everything else on the rumor list prior to what I'm about to talk about is 100% legit. It's going to happen. So 75272 is something brand new we haven't heard about, but we're about to hear about, or you're about to hear about. It's called Cab Core. That's the code name. 470 pieces. No price associated with that, although you can assume $50 or $60. I'm gonna assume some sort of vehicle. Cab, who knows? Set 75273 is called Taxi Core with 761 pieces. We'll assume $70 or $80 on that one, maybe 90 pushing it, but again, some type of vehicle type sets, who the heck knows? Set 75274 is just another blank set, kind of like 75260, which I actually have a theory on that one, but that's for another time. 75274 though, blank set, nothing associated with it, could be anything. I would be shocked if we had another just missing number. Perhaps the coveted 501st Battle Pack will make its way out. Who the heck knows? Set 75275 is the May Ultimate Collector Series set for 2020, and I'm bringing my rallying cry back out now, although the set and whatever it's going to be has already been decided. I'm quite sure they already know exactly what they're going to release. Hashtag complete the fleet. We need a UCS A-Wing. Like, they've done 2 Y-Wings, 2 Snowspeeders, a B-Wing, 2 X-Wings, 2 Tantive 4s, 2 UCS Millennium Falcons, and I think you get the point. We haven't had a UCS A-Wing. It's like the one original trilogy ship that we haven't had, and LEGO is really fond of making original trilogy UCS sets, so why not get it over with, make the UCS A-Wing in 2020, and then finally in 2021 give us something from like the prequels maybe, or even the sequels. I'd take an episode 7, 8, 9 UCS set. I don't know, I want something not original trilogy for a direct-to-consumer set. It's been like 10 straight direct-to-consumer / UCS sets that have been original trilogy, and I know they probably sell well. It makes sense, right? They do it for a reason, right? But just throw us a curveball, for the love of God. Moving on swiftly though to set 75276 and 75277, we have some interesting stuff here. These are called adult sets, at least in the code, and they are adult white and adult green, and obviously this does not give you a lot of information, but there is enough to unpack here to make it interesting. The adult part obviously is what's interesting. I'm not really interested in what color the particular sets are. Adult white will include 647 pieces, and adult green will include 625 pieces. Now there's a couple of theories I have on what these may be. Also, I've heard these are definitely going to be recommended for ages 16 and up, so they are like adult recommended sets, so maybe some type of complex build. I'm not really sure, but part of me really hopes that this is like the return of MIDI scale. MIDI scale was something that LEGO did back in like 2010 with the MIDI scale Star Destroyer and MIDI scale Millennium Falcon, and I thought that was awesome. Apparently LEGO did not, and they didn't make any more, but those are pretty cool. That being said, these could also be maybe character busts, much like the Darth Vader bust or even the new Sith Trooper bust, although I will say the Darth Vader bust was recommended for ages 14 and up, so I would wager that they're just not going to arbitrarily make a bust ages 16 and up. That being said, though, these sets are twice as many pieces as something like the Darth Vader bust. So who knows what exactly these will be? I'm excited to find out more than anything, I think, for next year, what these new adult LEGO Star Wars sets are going to be. Comment your theories down below. Maybe you'll be the one that was right. Maybe you know something I don't. But as of this time, we have no idea what these are going to be. They're just kind of names, placeholder names. And our final set for 2020 that I have to talk about right now, there's no guarantee when this set, or any of these sets for that matter, are coming out, although I would assume most of them are January 1st, bar the May UCS set, and maybe even anything past Luke's Landspeeder that I've talked about could be like an April release or something, or June 1st maybe. But it is a 75278 BB character. Now, I think it's pretty safe to assume this will pertain to Episode 9, and I'm going to bet that it's going to be Dio. this is a character that LEGO has kind of already revealed the minifigure form of. We have this awesome mock by Hikaroku, who I'm sure I butchered his name like I did on my mock series, but this is pretty in scale with what I would expect LEGO to make. Maybe even a little bigger than his build here, but you can see it next to BB-8 and R2-D2, and you get the idea that Dio isn't quite as big as them, so he's not going to be a huge model because LEGO's actually been pretty good about making those somewhat in scale with each other, which I like to see, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what this turns out to be, but I would be shocked if it's not Dio. I mean, there's no other BB character that they could make, I feel like, that would make more sense than Dio. So again, we'll have to wait and see, but it looks like we're going to be getting a buildable Dio set at some point in 2020. And that is going to be all the information I have for you in this video. I finally did it for you all. I compiled all the information we know about LEGO Star Wars Episode 9 sets and the rest of 2019, as well as LEGO Star Wars 2020 sets. Let me know if you guys have any theories on what the missing LEGO Star Wars set numbers could be, like the just empty, blank, no rumor at all set numbers, and if you have any theories on what some of the adult sets or cab or taxi sets may be. Obviously, they're not making a LEGO Star Wars Taxi. That would be asinine. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you learned something new. I know you did. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.